thought that was supposed to be our open. Like he said, he made this opening for us. For his like from before, it was like a Spider-Man, and it's talking. It's talking about Spider. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Anyway, we're this is just calling it Amargâo Football Nightly. Amadeus, by the way, if you want to put any of your put this right to your Twitter, I can always do that next week. But we're gonna try to come at you at 9 o'clock at night during weekdays and try to give you some picks for tomorrow. I know you see us on the World Soccer show. Sometimes we talk soccer. This is going to be soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. We're going to make some picks and give out some plays, and Amadeus will tell you where to find his plays. I'm not really making any picks right now anywhere, but the good thing is we'll have it. It'll be 9 o'clock at night, so the show is not out of date. If you're watching it, in the morning, and if you're watching us here on the replay in the morning in England, or if you're watching us, at night, sometime overnight in Australia or whatever, these picks will still be good. So we talked a little bit about it earlier. There's some pretty big games tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good games tomorrow in a lot of the leagues, not just the Premier League. So some interesting matchups for sure.
The first game is City, first big game here, City and Liverpool. And I think that line, I had seen City all the way up to maybe minus 180, and now it's minus 159, minus 155 at some sites. That site is the line is coming down a little bit. And if it try to figure out how we're going to do this. What do you? So you have say where you can find your picks first, and then probably say at the end of the show.
Yeah, you can get my picks at bigowl.com and pickadvisor.com. I got some plays up for tomorrow already, so you can go get those. Cover a bunch of leagues.
Which which games do you want to target here? From the Premier League, maybe. I obviously I don't know if City, Liverpool. I know there's Brighton and Brentford is a tough game to call. Arsenal, Leeds, any game kind of you look at here and say this looks like a decent game here to maybe bet.
Well, it's funny you bring up that Brighton game, because I really I find that one almost unbettable, because I kind of think Brighton's going to win, but probably by just one goal, and the line is minus 160. It seems
minus
really accurate.
7 here, and Brentford's at plus 440. And to be honest, I'm just going to pull this table up here.
They're tied right now, 42 points. I know Brighton has the game in hand, but this Brentford team, man, they're undefeated too in their last few matches. So
yeah, Brighton's played really, really well since the break, and it's kind of they're kind of, this game was a little bit of a fluke. They lost to Everton. They beat Fulham 3-2. They tied Crystal Palace. They tied Arsenal. They beat Southampton. Really just one loss. They went over Liverpool. I think just one loss since the World Cup ended. So, it's this plus 167. I know Brighton is good, but so is Brentford. And I'm not in the business of really laying. When you start looking at Asian handicaps here, like you said, you got to lay, minus one is minus 103. So if Brighton only wins 2-1, you don't even win any money on the game. It's not the greatest game to wager on here. And Brentford and draw is plus 123. So.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like, one of those games that's going to be close, really, really close and tight. And I almost think if Brighton wins, it's just going to be by one goal. I can't see them winning by two or more here. Maybe they do, but I'd be shocked.
This Arsenal game, this is another game. and all of a sudden, this is minus 375. And I don't remember it. I think I bet this already. And minus 1.5 is minus 120. So you're not even getting like a ton of value for that because, I know Arsenal's been pretty good, but, Leeds has been better. That's a lot of goals, I think. I think Arsenal, I've been giving out Arsenal minus 1.5, when it was closer to, minus 105. But I'm not going to back off it. I think I have it in one of my parlays. But, if this starts to creep up towards minus 390, minus, where you're getting, you'd have to lay minus 130 for 1.5. I don't know what your feelings are about that. Maybe, the over under in this, the over 3.5 is already plus 133. So, really it's minus 3 here. Do you have any feelings on that game?
Yeah, it's one where Arsenal's been playing really well lately. Obviously, they're out of Europa League now, so they're probably really focused on winning that Premier League title, and they'll want to keep their lead here. Leeds, I don't know about this team. Like, to me, I think Leeds is a team that could find themselves slipping down to the relegation by the end of the season.
I think so too.
Yeah, like they haven't been great, and especially in these away games, they're terrible. And that's really something where they've been losing a lot of ground. So
that was a huge win for them last time out, to get to 26 points. But like once again, you're up to 14th, but it doesn't really mean much because if West Ham, Leicester, and Nottingham Forest win, you're back down into like whatever place you're in, 18th or 17th. So, you're going to have to win a lot more games than that. Crystal Palace, Leicester City. I know you hit on this a little bit earlier. I think Palace is starting to get some players back. After they just tied down a couple on Jordan Ayew and Jeffrey Schlupp maybe to some deals. I think they're starting to get some players back here.
Yeah, I know Zaha came back recently, so
to me, I think people were going crazy when they fired Vieira, but like I think they kind of underachieved. I look at the squad, Lise and Ezzy, and they have some players that can do some things. Edward and
Edward's really good. Oh,
yeah, and he didn't play a lot. Like I never understand that. This Leicester team stinks. Like they're not any good. Their best player is probably Madison. He was finally, he was away with England, so he's probably all jacked up. Like
they give up a ton of goals too. Like all year, we've seen them get blown up in games, 6-0, 4-2 games. So
yeah, Palace is plus 163 at home.
And if you look at their last 5 games, Palace, so I think they've drawn 4 of their last 5 at home, and they have only allowed 3 goals in that span. Now, the first thing you can look at is like, yeah, they don't have a win in 13 games, but if you look at these last 5 home games, they've had to play your Man United, Newcastle, Manchester City, Liverpool, and the other one was Brighton. Those are all like teams that any one of them could finish in the top 4 this year. So,
yeah, I thought they fired him in a weird spot. It's almost like they got through the tough games, and now you see like
scapegoat
talking about, and you scapegoat him a little bit. And now you got you got Leicester fixtures, man. Leicester fixtures. You got there it is. So you got Leicester, Leeds, Southampton, Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Spurs, Bournemouth, Fulham. We might not have mentioned Nottingham Forest. The rest of the season, Roy Hodgson could come in here and go on a tear with this team, and I wouldn't be stunned because once again, I don't think this team is. There's no way to me. There's no chance Crystal Palace gets relegated. You look at the relegation markets right now. I think that's why you have them at plus 500. I would think probably within, 3 or 4 games here, with when it gets back to around 28, by 7 games left, 6 games left. I think they're going to be clear. I think they'll be They're not going to rise up the table. They're going to still be in 12th, but they're going to be in 12th, 6 points, 8 points clear of thing. I don't think it even goes close to the final day with them. I actually, the more I look at this game, you could probably talk me into taking Crystal Palace at plus 163 tomorrow.
Get it now, man, because it's gonna drop probably by the morning. It's already looks like it's slightly gone that way.
Wolves, Nottingham Forest, no interest.
Relegation battle.
Nottingham Forest has been good at home. I think Wolves has been a lot better since Lopetegui's come in. I still, once again, I still think Forest's squad is probably too good to go down with all these players they have, Keylor Navas and stuff. I think Wolves, the way they've been playing, Lopetegui will find a way, and then in the summer they'll regroup and they'll be back, going towards the right direction. The 12:30 contest is pretty interesting to me. Chelsea and Aston Villa. Chelsea, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're playing better. I mean, they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but once again, you look up, they're in 10th place. They're 10th place.
Like I said they were going to have that offensive explosion, and they played well in those next two games. They scored 2 and 3 goals, so they did start to ramp it up. But then they hit a bit of a snag with that draw, and something about this team, I don't get it. I don't know if it's Potter, but like they keep sitting Mudryk, and I think he's probably the X factor for that attack.
It's crazy too, because these two teams, I mean, look at this. They're even in the table, 28, 38 points, same amount of games. Aston Villa's actually got more wins. They just don't have as many draws. Aston Villa's given them a lot more goals, but they've also scored more goals than Chelsea. So, once again, like, I don't know, not for like Villa and draw is plus money. I may, I'm not going to go crazy on the game, but I just, once again, I don't think Chelsea's that good. I still, I think they could be good, but like you said, like, Mudryk doesn't play. He comes off the bench.
He's he's the X factor. He adds such an element of speed, the way he can slip behind the defenders. Like, he's what they need. Him and Felix, because Felix will take the shots. He takes the shot, and Mudryk's a great playmaker. He knows how to get the ball in. So I don't know what Potter's doing, but Mudryk is in my starting 11 for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And they paid all this money for him, but they paid money for everybody, I guess, at this point.
And they start everybody else, like Felix and Fernandez, and he's the only one that gets benched for what? Raheem Sterling? Like, it's a bust.
I agree. 100%.
Accept it.
Yep. I think, you're spending all that money and you're bringing all these players in. Look, if it doesn't work, you got to sit them. You play the better players.
Well, look at Arsenal, for example. I'm pretty sure Trossard's going to get the start over Jesus. And Arteta is very clear that Jesus has got to work his way back on that team. So
yeah, and Trossard's been good. He's been in there. He is what he is. Like, he works. He's like the Arsenal Wout Weghorst. He works hard and he gets a goal every once in a while, but maybe he links the play up a little bit. But so I don't know, where do you want to go next? To the Bundesliga?
Oh God, do we really want to talk about the Bundesliga?
I don't really care about the games. I mean, I know Leverkusen is minus 114.
Is tomorrow the day they have 90% at 9:00, or is that the Sunday?
Tomorrow. Wait, 90% at 9:30, right?
Yeah, they have them all at like 9:30, and then Liga Un has them on the Sunday.
Tomorrow,
9:00.
Leverkusen minus 114. It's interesting to me. I look at the table here quickly.
Is Schalke still the worst? I don't keep up with the bottom of this table.
No, Stuttgart is managed by former Columbia University player. Forget his name. He was there when I was there. Schalke's on 21 with Hertha Berlin, but Hoffenheim is 22. So the Leverkusen hasn't been great in the league. They've scored a lot of goals. There's always a lot of goals scored in this league. And they're playing against
That's why the totals are always 3.
Schalke doesn't score a lot of goals. Schalke's only scored 21 goals. So to me, Leverkusen at minus 114 is pretty interesting. The huge game is Munich and Dortmund. And, the over 3.5 is minus 115 in this game. Bayern Munich, here's the
over 3.5 with their new 8-1-1 formation.
Crazy. Here's look at the.
Didn't they draw 1-1? They were the first game back from the World Cup, were they not?
Who's that?
Dortmund and Bayern, weren't they? Or no, that was Leipzig, actually.
Yeah. Look at these. The last 2-2 on September 8th, 3-1, 3-2, 3-1, 4-2, 3-2, 3-2. There's the 1-0 blip back on the 20th. 4-0, but that was when they first came back from COVID, the 5/26. 4-0, 2-0, 5-0, 3-2, 6-0, 2-1, 3-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-1. I mean, it's like constant. The only game that wasn't over 3 goals and the Super Cup was the COVID game when they came back. But Bayern's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and drawn 1 in the last 8 against them. But listen, look at the table. Dortmund leads the table right now. They have more wins than Bayern Munich. They just don't have these draws. They got a lot more losses, but Bayern owns them. When I looked at this, I just said, I don't know. I mean, do you want to see a game under Tuchel to see what they do here? I mean, I think there's going to be some goals, but I don't know. I mean, what will Tuchel do? Will he play 10 behind the ball here?
Who's at home again?
Munich.
Oh,
that's minus 220, which is tough because I don't know if I want to lay 2 goals here, a goal and a half.
See, the thing is, like, such an offensive-minded team for so long, and their defense has been so bad for so long. Is Tuchel's just going to come in and turn this thing around on the first game? Probably not. So
I would say it's probably an over.
Yeah, and you'd think even the players, right? Like, you can try as hard as you want to implement this new defensive plan, but the players are still going to have their attacking tendencies, and they'll be pushing. They'll be pushing to score in this game. I would think still.
In La Liga,
especially as you said with the first place on the line there, that they're both going to have to go for it.
Yeah, I would think so. And it's a huge game for Dortmund. And they always let you down, always. And I don't expect them to not let me down tomorrow. I wouldn't take them. I think there'll probably be some goals though, but once again, I'm not laying -1 there. If you're going to take them 1.5. Elche is in last place here, but has 2 wins. They play Barcelona, who's 12 points clear, and you can get Barcelona at -295 here. I think the -1.5 is probably the play. -120, -1.5 is plus money, plus 104. Barcelona doesn't give up any goals. Elche doesn't score any goals, and they don't win. So I don't even care if it's at home. I don't know if that's a game that interests you at all.
Barcelona,
a weird team, but
they trend to the under. They really do trend to the under, and they don't tend to score a lot of goals in their away matches. They're also going to be missing a bunch of people. They're still missing Pedri, Dembele, Rafinha's suspended, so
maybe the under there, right? 1-0, 2-0.
Yeah, like I agree. They don't need to do much to win this match, but they're such a lazy team lately. Like if you look at their past scores, it's all 1-0, 1-0. It's like they score and they don't need to do anything else.
Are there any games that you looked at that you thought maybe to target here? I know there's one game in the championship I wanted to look at.
Yeah, you know what? Inter Milan and Fiorentina is a very interesting game to me.
Okay, let me pull that
Inter
up.
Milan's like a -134.
Yeah.
And
Fiorentina is not bad.
That's what I mean. Fiorentina, if you look, they've won like 8 straight games now. They're on a tear, and Inter Milan, they're not the kind of team that's going to go and blow someone out 3-0. If they win a game, it's like 1-0, especially in these high profile. They actually just lost at home to Juventus in their last match, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, Fiorentina double chance.
money. Plus money, double chance.
That's what I mean. Like you get minus 134 for Inter Milan against a Fiorentina team that all of a sudden is catching fire and has won like 8 straight games.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I think that's actually pretty interesting.
And especially in a game where players just flew back from international duties, you're gonna have some kind of lag. Like I don't know. That's the kind of game where you get 2 defensive teams and it could end 0-0.
Sunday, Napoli plays AC Milan. Napoli's only minus 122 in this game. I'll be all
smash them. Smash them. My team's getting destroyed. Just like Dortmund, my AC Milan will always let you down. So
the other thing, too, is this is a little bit of a game where you can say, listen, if Napoli wants to put a marker down and put something in AC Milan's head for the Champions League, listen, don't even bother showing up. They could, 3-4-0 here ahead of that Champions League tie.
Are they playing each other? I didn't even check. Like, I haven't even looked at these new Champions League matches yet.
Napoli, let me pull it up. Napoli, AC Milan. Benfica, Inter, and Manchester City, Bayern Munich, the first 2 ties. AC Milan, Napoli, Real Madrid, Chelsea, the second 2. So, I think I like Benfica in that tie. I think it's going to be really, really close. We talked about this a little bit. To qualify dead even, I think I like City to qualify, but I could see Pep boxing this up. They're minus 134, Bayern Munich plus 100 to qualify. Napoli is minus 250 to qualify. But they're plus 143 on the road in that first match, which is interesting to me because Napoli's destroyed everybody they've played.
It's not even close. They're going to destroy AC Milan. AC Milan has no chance in that.
And Chelsea's plus 120, Real Madrid minus 162. And Madrid hasn't been playing well. So, that's the one I said maybe, I wouldn't mind looking at Chelsea a little bit, but I need to see how Chelsea's playing. The game tomorrow, Middlesbrough on the road at Huddersfield Town was terrible. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to April 30th.
It wants to end the season already.
Oh.
It's ready for it.
Huddersfield Town is I think well down the list. Yeah, 22nd. They're in the relegation zone here. 9-9-20, minus 21 goal difference. Middlesbrough is flying. They've played one more game than Sheffield United, but they can pull even on points.
So that's like a Premier League team versus a League One team.
Yes. So Middlesbrough, right now they're about minus 150. I would probably put them in. I believe I have Middlesbrough in a parlay with. I didn't see the scores today. Burnley 0-0, so that parlay is probably dead. Thank you, Burnley.
Yeah, everybody tied today. It was 1-1 in the Marseille game, and I think even Frankfurt was 1-1. It was a draw day. Where's Foxy with his draw parlays?
I didn't like that. I liked the Marseille game. I didn't like the Frankfurt.
Yeah, I don't even look at the Bundesliga anymore.
But listen, we just wanted to jump on here and give you some plays. We're going to be, this is the first show. We ran a little bit, we're in 25 minutes here. Usually going to be 15, 20 minutes, bounce around and maybe give you the best plays. Just real quickly, where can they find your picks again?
Yeah, you can get my premium picks at bigowl.com and pickadvisor.com.
All right, go get them if you like winning. And then I'll be on ESPN New York tonight at midnight. You can hear it again at 8 a.m. If you
watch it.
Yeah, tune in radio, all this stuff. You could just go to the ESPN New York 98.7 FM website. You can watch that or listen to it. And then we'll be back. So starting next week, we'll go at 9 o'clock at night, and we'll give you a heads up towards all these games. And remember, next week's a big Premier League week, a lot of midweek matches, and then the following week is Champions League, Europa League thing, and then the next 2 weeks. So you're going to have a lot of games coming up in a quick order of succession here. So we'll have a lot. So, all right, we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching.